Thoughts are not facts. Hello, my name is Dr. Sweta Rajan Rankin, and my colleagues and I are conducting a research study funded by the Brunel Educational Excellence Centre to explore ways in which university students can develop emotional resilience skills to better cope with stress in their everyday life. Today, I'm going to talk to you about a wonderful concept in mindfulness called thoughts are not facts. You and your world are composed of your thoughts. The wise man controls his thoughts, said Buddha. Our thoughts have a very powerful effect on how we feel and what we do. Often, these thoughts are triggered and run quite automatically. This is because through repetition, they have formed neural pathways in our brains. By becoming aware over and over again of the thoughts and images passing through our mind and then letting go of them, as we turn our attention through mindfulness to the present moment, it is possible to dissolve existing neural pathways and create more desirable ones. It also helps us to create distance and perspective on our thoughts, which allows us to respond rather than react to events. This allows us to see that there may be other ways to think about situations, freeing us from the tyranny of the old thought pattern that automatically appears in the mind. Remember, you are only ever one thought away from a happier thought, and thus a better emotional state. We are not our thoughts, negative or positive. We are the thinker behind the thought. Let us turn now to why you can't change your feelings without changing your thoughts. The route to changing your feeling is to change your thinking. Each of your positive and negative feelings is a direct result of your thought. It is therefore impossible to have lonely feelings without first having lonely thoughts, to have sad feelings without first having sad thoughts, to have stressed feelings without having stressed thoughts. And it's impossible to be depressed without having depressive thoughts. Unlike other abilities we have as human beings, it is hard to remember that we are the thinkers of our own thoughts. And strangely, we may not be conscious of this fact at all. To realize that thinking is an ability rather than a reality can allow us to dismiss any negative thoughts that pass through our minds. If we focus and dwell on negative thoughts, we will soon be trapped in and live within negativity. We forget that we are only thinking, which we then use to interpret as reality instead of a passing thought. If we can remember that we are the thinker, then we understand that we can somehow separate what we think and how we feel. You can be immune to the adverse effects of your negative thinking once you understand that the thoughts you think are not reality. They're only passing thoughts. They are not the circumstance you live in. Please be aware that your core being is always available to you. Once you stop the flow of negative thoughts, your underlying positivity, your innate happiness soon becomes emergent. In our educational system, we have failed to learn how to control our thoughts and that we are the thinker behind our thoughts. We tend to upset ourselves, confuse ourselves, because we confuse thinking with reality. Our thinking is not reality. It is only an interpretation given to a certain situation. How we interpret what we see then gives rise to an emotional response. Our emotions are not caused by the event itself, but are a direct result of our thinking. Almost everyone becomes the victim of their own thinking, and the qualities of their lives diminish. It's vital we understand how these thoughts create our experiences of life, so we are no longer victims of our own thinking. Others not only don't see the way we do, but indeed they cannot see into our realities. The nature of individual thought makes it impossible to see anything of the way someone else does, or for others to see precisely the way we do. This in itself can create argument. This can be true on a small scale between two people, or on a large scale between two nations. Jon Kabat-Zinn speaks of healing ourselves through the world of mindfulness. When you understand the nature of thought causing separate realities, there is no conflict. It allows you to depersonalize what others say or do. It is only a passing thought, only an interpretation of how they see an event in that single moment. When we separate what we think about the world and self-validate aspects of our thought programs, we get into an endless loop. When you understand the difference between thoughts, reality, and your emotions, you are free from the tyranny of thought. When we are not caught up in our thoughts, our feelings remain positive and we just feel good. We all have access to the state of mind, and we are into it. No mental adjustment needs to be made. We are in our true nature. Happiness is innate. When our experience of life is other than pleasant, our warning system of feelings kicks in as a red flag, reminding us that something is wrong. What is actually wrong is that we have reverted back to thinking directly from our belief systems, from our innate programming. We are now thinking in a dysfunctional manner, and it's time to make a mental adjustment. Decide once and for all that negative feelings aren't worth defending and harboring. Unpleasant feelings are an accurate indicator that let us know when we are thinking from our thought programs, when we act from old habit. This guidance system of feelings works perfectly well 100% of the time, so trust it. It doesn't matter whether you're feeling stressed, overwhelmed, angry, depressed, lonely, frustrated, jealous, judgmental, or anxious. These feelings are there to tell you that you're looking through the lens of a thought program. You're not in your natural state of mind. Indeed, when we have any of these negative feelings, we need to understand that these things are being manufactured by our thought programs, that they are not natural, accurate, or a true representation of reality. Fixed thoughts about someone or something will always generate a bad feeling within you. You must ask yourself, is your happiness not more important than thinking a negative thought? Remember, you are only ever one thought away from a good feeling, from your true nature. Your feelings are the barometer that tells you whether you are experiencing life from your natural state or from a conditioned thought program, from your anxieties, from a very colored, limited picture of the world. I hope you've enjoyed learning that thoughts are not facts and can try to apply it in your everyday life. If you want to learn more about mindfulness and flow, please visit our project website, and also more information can be found at the British Mindfulness Institute. Thank you.